Gamer Tag Radio listeners, join me on my exclusive session on Bright called Podcasting 101 Building Your Community. I know we have a lot of listeners that want to start their own show, start their own podcast. They don't know what to do, they don't know how to market, how to get new listeners, etc. So join my session Tuesday, June 22nd, 5:30 p.m. Pacific Time, 8:30 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, and you could join and ask questions, learn from me. I've been podcasting now over 16 years, and there's going to be a lot of people there. The last session we had a lot, and we had a great conversation about how to market, to do certain things, certain tricks to get new listeners, how people could discover your show, etc. So this is your opportunity right now, exclusively on Bright. All you have to do is go to this episode under the description here, and I have the link to where you go to the website and reserve your ticket. I only have a certain amount of tickets available. It's up to you now. Want to join and meet other podcasters and other content creators are going to be also attending this event. So June 22nd, Tuesday, June 22nd at 5:30 p.m. Pacific Time, 8:30 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Spread the word, and I'll see you there exclusively, once again, live on Bright.
Ladies and gentlemen, podcasting since 2005. You're listening to Gamertag Radio with your host, podcaster Hall of Famer Danny Pena, the always opinionated Paris Lilly, and from outside of the norm, Peter Toledo. This is Gamertag Radio.
All right, welcome back here. This is, I don't know what episode. I think it's 1139 here on Gamertag Radio. This is your host, Danny Pena, and I'm actually recording a podcast live here and also streaming. We have an audience here. They're watching, and also joining me for this podcast. Look, I always love chatting with this person right here. We always talk about games and other stuff every time we talk, so it's always a good time recording with my homie Tony Polanco from Throwdown Show, man. Tony, what's up?
Danny, what is good, brother? Yo, again, I always love these like random off the cuff podcasts that we do. These are always the best ones. You just called me up like 5 minutes ago just for the people know. They're, Danny's like, yo, you want to record our impressions of E3? I'm like, yeah, let's go.
Yeah. Let's do it. Let's
do it, bro.
Wait, let me. Actually, I'm gonna tweet this.
Yeah,
Wait,
yeah.
you already tweeted it? You already tweeted it?
No, I didn't tweet it. I just put it up, but I'll tweet it out too.
Tweet it. Could be a pretty good shot. I'll retweet it. I'll retweet it.
Yeah.
But so for those who are listening, make sure to head over to gamertagradio.com and listen to our past episodes, and you can find us on any podcast app. Just search for Gamertag Radio will help us out a lot. If you subscribe, follow us, and post a review. And if you want, you could also find us on any podcast app. And if you will, I even messed up right there. I'm so exhausted with D3. But anyways, if you would like to be part of our family discussion, head over to our website or hit us up here.
Send us your feedback or questions. Give us a call at 786-273-7GTR. Email us at fanmail@gamertagradio.com or leave a message on speakpipe.com/gamertagradio.
All right, Tony. So we were talking about this, just on WhatsApp between you and I, and we talked about like how this E3 has been kind of meh. I feel like I also mentioned it on the stream. Like I get that the ESA wants to show the industry overall that they're back, coming stronger than ever. Yes, virtually. They have a lot of the content creators involved for like hosting and also not only hosting, but also doing panels with people in the industry, which I totally get. And they have partnerships with like Capcom, Square Enix, everybody, right? But at the same time, I feel like they're forcing it. Like they're trying too hard to make it make it seem like this is a huge, big event, 4 days, like the regular E3, right? But there's nothing really big going on right now. I think out of all third-party companies, I think Ubisoft was the only one that had like something that was okay. I'm like, all right, I like this, not bad. There was announcements, right? Square Enix was kind of meh. Capcom, I didn't even know what was the point of that. I know there was other ones too that they had during the stream that was just kind of, I don't know what's the point of this, man. So a shout out to Kenny 1985. He said this: if it wasn't for Xbox being part of this, what was like this E3 would have been even worse. We haven't seen Nintendo by now. We haven't seen Nintendo Direct, so we don't know like their announcement and everything. But this is just, I don't know. What are your thoughts about all this, Tony?
Yeah, I mean, I kind of echo what you've been saying. It's been, and again, I'm trying to be nice here, man, but it's just been pretty lackluster. Like you said, if it wasn't for Xbox, this E3 would have been pretty whack, bro. And I'm gonna go back a little bit because it really started with Summer Game Fest on Thursday. That's when that's what I consider the official kickoff of this thing. And even that show, I know you enjoyed it. And I'll say this before I get to what I have to say about that. I appreciate the fact that Jeff Keighley put that show together, and I think the way that was presented was good given the situation. But I found most of those games boring, man. Like outside, again, I'm just speaking for myself. Outside of the Death Stranding for PS5 and the Elden Ring, I'm like, yo, this is just a bunch of filler, man. I don't care about none of this stuff, right? And then we had Ubisoft. I can't even remember what they showed. I was so bored by that, Square Enix, the only thing I remember was and this was because it was a surprise, the Guardians of the Galaxy. I was like, yo, this is hype. But I will say this: when they first showed it, I was like, "Oh God, here we go, another Avengers situation." I did not like the Avengers, right? But as soon as they said single player, third person action game, story driven, I'm like, let's go, and it looked hype, So I really enjoyed that. But like you said, right now we just finished this Capcom thing, and we both tweet about it. And obviously, we're not trying to like hate on Capcom. We both love Capcom and all that. But that was a waste of time, bro. That was a complete waste of time. So just to your overall question, if E3 keeps going this way, man, I've been saying I don't understand the point of E3 in this year. This presentation is just proving that. I'm like, yo, this is a waste of everybody's time right now, except for the Xbox. The Xbox Bethesda was the only thing that was consistently good from beginning to end. Other than that, I haven't cared for much of this stuff, bro.
Yeah. It feels It like watching the Xbox Bethesda event, that felt to me was like an event, like a celebration. Like, yo, Xbox is coming, right? Like, and probably, and I hope it's like that once we get to see the Nintendo Direct tomorrow. But dude, this was just weird, man. Weird. Paris, we're doing a podcast live. If you want to record locally, I know you just joined right now. It's up to you.
I got to do this.
This is super last minute.
Yeah. Danny, and this is something Parrish has posted to us. Look what Jeff Keighley has posted. I did try to tell you guys, bruh.
Yo, Jeff Keighley's been taking shots at ESA for like the whole week. I don't know, man. Yeah, I don't know. This is just it's disappointing. It's disappointing.
Yeah, it is. I agree. Can we talk about what the ESA did? Like they won't let Jeff Keighley co-stream. I thought that was kind of messed up, man. But yeah, Danny, I wanted your thoughts on that. The ESA not allowing Jeff Keighley to co-stream the events, because the way I see it, I'm like, a lot of these events, like the Xbox one and Square Enix, they're all independent. Like, I don't understand why he couldn't co-stream them.
It's not only him, but it was also just content creators overall. Because and I didn't know. I heard that if you're a content creator, you have to apply, and for the ESA to give you like the green light.
Yeah.
But yeah, like you said earlier, this is don't worry, I'll sync it. Just I'll get in.
I am recording right now.
And there you go. All right, so Paris is here. He's going to be joining us, and welcome, Paris.
Welcome. Thank you for having me.
Yeah. Super last minute. I was just so mad watching the Capcom showcase. I felt like I wasted my time, dude.
Yeah, dude.
That they could have easily posted a blog, posted some clips on their YouTube channel. There was no point of having that showcase. And like the thing that I was saying on the stream and also to Tony Paris is like, I feel like the ESA is forcing this to make it like a big event and having all these big content creators and like I feel like no disrespect to the people involved, like the like Greg and Alex, like I want them. They're doing an amazing job hosting and everything, right? But to me, I feel like the ESA is trying so hard to make this as like a big E3, how it is when it was an in-person event.
Yeah.
Making this virtually. But a lot of these companies, they don't have things to announce. They don't. So, like, what was the point of doing all these panels and having Take-Two in there? And people think, oh man, they're gonna announce some of these big things, and it's just, I feel like it's just fillers, man.
Yeah.
The whole time. And it's disappointing seeing that, like Paris, you and I, and even Tony, we've been going to E3 for years.
Yeah, man.
Yeah.
For years, and seeing this is disappointing, man.
Look, man, I have said this for years. COVID kind of threw a monkey wrench into it, but what we have seen this quote unquote weekend of digital E3 just brings me back to the point that I've been making for a while. This thing is becoming pointless. I'm registered as media for E3. I have no appointments. I've not even really pushed to try and get any because I just feel like it doesn't matter. We can watch these events, the digital things that they are putting out, but at the end of the day, I mean, yeah, Microsoft's was good. Obviously, I guess I'm biased at this point, right? But Microsoft's was good. But the rest of them, did I really need them all condensed into one weekend? Like I watched yesterday going from the Back 4 Blood into the PC game show into the future thing. And look, I ain't gonna lie, I was halfway through the PC show. I got bored. I go, okay, I'm good. And that's not to say there wasn't some good games here and there. Ubisoft obviously showed some good stuff. Microsoft showed some good stuff. We saw good things. But I'll take what Jeff Keighley did over what quote unquote E3 is supposed to be any day. You can criticize Jeff Keighley all you want, but at least he was trying to inject some type of entertainment into the things that we got.
Yeah.
This just doesn't really do anything for me. I mean, what we have this weekend, this does not feel like E3. And I understand it's digital, it's COVID and all that. I'm going to selfishly say, yes, I want it to go back to in person next year. You want to know why? Because we'll all be in LA. We all get to hang out at night and see all our friends from around the world. That's literally all I care about. And it is not about the actual work of gaming and all that. They don't, because I said this last year during the summer game, everybody got mad at me. I get it was too spread out, but a steady cadence of weekly events probably, in my opinion, in this digital format works better than trying to condense all this stuff. Almost said a curse word. Let's condense all this stuff into like a 2 or 3 day period, in my opinion. Like imagine, let's just take an example. Imagine if Ubisoft last Saturday or last Sunday did their event and then they just had the whole week that we're just breaking down all their stuff. Then Microsoft does theirs, then EA does theirs, and then maybe not Capcom. And maybe not Koch Media. We're good. But you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Spread it out a little bit, but not too much to where everyone kind of gets a day or two to own the news cycle. I don't know, man. I want to be excited about this stuff, and I'm not. And maybe it's just we've gone to E3 for too long, and we know how it should work, and it's not working that way, and we're jaded. I don't know. I don't know. I'm actually very curious to kind of read the room of what other people think that normally are sitting at home watching E3. Are they getting the same feeling from what we have this year? I would imagine no, but again, I guess I'm biased, so I don't know.
No, I echo everything you just said, man. Like the way this was handled was not great. And like I said, even though I didn't enjoy many of the games that were shown at the Jeff Keighley show, at least that presentation was good. 2 hours and that's it. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
But I do agree that it would have been good to spread things out, but not too much, because last year I felt that was way too spread out over an entire summer. That it just like it just became kind of pointless. But I think if we would have had like a week, like a full week, not 4 days, it would have been better. But at the same time, and I think this goes to the heart of it, at least for me, I don't think a lot of these games needed to be shown. It's like we could get these release dates 2022. I'm like, what's the point then, man? We got to
Yeah.
wait this long, you know? I know at one of the shows yesterday, actually it was Microsoft. A good chunk of them were coming out this year. I'm like, great. Why not focus on those games instead of like, oh, here's a little bit of a trailer for something that's going to come out in 2023. Paid E3, I'm looking at you right now. I'm like, what is the point of showing this right now? You know, so it just seemed like a lot of these companies were just scrambling to get content, and it just didn't work because a lot of it wasn't very compelling. So I'm with you on that, man. This just exacerbates the problem that E3's been having. You know, like,
Yeah.
and let's just be real here. Even if we had a live show, you're right, Paris. The only thing that would have been really cool about it was just hanging out with you guys. I still think it would have been a boring show, even if we were live. I
Yeah.
honestly believe that.
I agree.
There was nothing to show here.
Here's the way to look at it, in my opinion. What were we saying early 2020 before the pandemic when we started to see the plans about what E3 was going to be last year? It looked terrible.
Yeah,
remember,
we said that.
remember
Yep.
Keeley tapped last year. He was like, I'm out. That should have told you everything you needed to know. And look, I get he's being funny and he's being snarky and all that, but he has a point. I think what he's been doing here over the last few days is proving his point about this is why I disassociated myself from E3. This is why I just decided to start my own event, because I think there's a better way to do this. I don't know, man. I just and I hate to sound so cynical and negative about it, but I don't have that. Like, E3 is supposed to be that. This is supposed to be that time of year we're excited, man. Like, oh man, I can't wait to that.
Yeah,
and
yeah.
I'm just kind of, I'm like, whatever, whatever. I don't know.
But you're feeling like that because of the overall E3. I didn't get that vibe watching the Xbox press conference. But imagine there was no Xbox part of E3. This would have been
Oh
a
my
disaster,
God.
I think, man. It would have been a disaster, you know. And yeah, we're gonna watch Nintendo tomorrow, and yo, I just pray to God that tomorrow is gonna be a good presentation, because if not, what is the point of having Microsoft being part of this? Like, I don't get this whole thing, man. You know, and honestly, I agree with you guys. I think if E3 would have done like maybe a day or two of just overall E3, like this past weekend, I think it would have been great. But dragging it for this long,
Yeah,
too much.
it is
Way
too much.
Way too much.
Yeah, I don't know,
Way
man.
too much.
And I think in the future it might be better if E3. Here's the thing: I do think there is a good, like there's a benefit to having a week of gaming news, right? But it doesn't need to be under the ESA. It doesn't need to be under E3. And I think Jeff Keighley has a chance here to make, you know, his version of E3 a reality. And I'm talking about live shows and everything, because that'll be really hype. I think that could be it. And I'm pretty sure that would have happened last year had COVID and all this other stuff not happened. But yeah, no, but just speaking specifically for what we saw this year, I'm sorry. Again, we try to be positive around here, but we're real guys, man. We keep it honest right here. And we have to call this for what it is. It was a boring waste of time. You know, and just real quick, not to sidetrack too much, but the whole media registration thing was as pointless as the show. I registered for this thing just for the heck of it, but I was already getting appointments before that. So again, even for the media, I saw people stressing about like, oh, are they going to give us appointments? What do I do with the E3 portal? You didn't need none of that stuff to cover this show. Nothing. So yeah, I don't get it, man. But yeah, I'm trying to find like a good way of trying to be positive, but I can't find it, man. I really can't, you know?
Yeah.
And you see the Twitter timelines right now for all of us. People are expressing the same thing. They're like, yo, what did we just watch? Why were we here?
Yeah. Yeah. No, it's Paris could say he's going to be right back. So.
Yeah.
But yeah, dude, like I just don't get it. Don't get it. And you know what, like to me, look, there's 2 times every year where I feel that it's like for us as a community, as an industry, for us to celebrate, and that's E3, and then at the end of the year with the Game Awards.
Yeah.
And I feel like I said earlier, they're forcing to do an E3 this year, and I would have been fine if Capcom would say, hey, look, we have a couple updates, check out our blog, do a little clip about it, and just move on and not be part of E3. But
Agreed.
I feel that a lot of these companies, because they have this partnership with ESA, that they had to come and to announce something to be part of it on video, so the ESA have the rights to show that on their stream, so it could look like, yo, we're back. Do you remember the year of E3 Santa Monica, Tony? You
No,
weren't
no,
you
I
weren't
wasn't there.
That
No.
that was a disaster, and a lot of people gave that feedback to the ESA, like, yo, what the hell was that? What was the point of that? You know,
That was the one
And
where
it-
you guys were in hotel rooms, right? Is that what
Yeah,
the one?
yeah.
yeah.
Yep. So for those that don't know, there was 2 years that the ESA, well, actually 1 year, the ESA decided to get out of the LA Convention Center, and they had it at Santa Monica at the hotels, right? And the reason why it was so complicated as a content creator and for the media was that one hotel might have 2 or 3 studios, and then you have to take another shuttle if you have another appointment somewhere else. Sometimes you might find out that a company that you made an appointment is in the same hotel from your other appointment that you have. So you might get lucky with that, but it was just too complicated. Plus the internet was crappy.
Yeah.
Imagine trying to upload like videos during that time. Then the year after that, they had E3, but it was only at the media rooms at the LA Convention Center. So there was no big booth, no
Wow.
music. Like, it felt kind of like it was good to get content, but I felt like the experience, that E3 experience, wasn't there at all. And people gave feedback, good and bad, to the ESA. And the year after that, they're like, you know what, guys, we're coming back. And they made that change. And it felt like they came back. But when companies figure out a way that they could have their own event that they could do without having to be part of E3, that's when things were already getting things were changing slowly. Look, the first company that tapped out from E3 was Rockstar Games years ago.
That's
They
right.
tapped out, right? Then it was Nintendo doing the whole Nintendo Direct. They don't need to do a press conference. They can just do everything digitally, and that's it. And I remember at that time, I was like, yo, this is crazy, like what they're doing. But Nintendo got to see the vision. And also, they had to do it during that time, was because they didn't have content to show.
That's
'Cause
right.
It was during the Wii U days that they managed to come up with Nintendo Direct. But then throughout the years, they realized, yo, we're saving so much money. We don't have to rent out a stage for us to do a press conference. We could do all this, do this digitally, you know? And then recently, Tony, you and I have been going to the Xbox press conferences. Yo, Xbox decided to rent out their own
Yeah,
theater
they tapped
in
out.
LA.
That's right.
You know what I'm saying? And they're doing everything there. So it's like things are changing. And I think Summer Game Fest is going to be the future. If Jeff Keighley continues doing this, he is going to make a huge change in the industry, man, I think. And it's going to change the conversation of, yo, should I cover E3? Should I cover Summer Game Fest or what? Like, I think he's going to get all the big announcements. The way how he did it is still early, right? It's still early, but the way how he did it, it felt like the Game Awards, like that type of vibe, you know? Once he has the numbers and the stats to show that to companies, that's what we're going to see all these companies like, yo, I want to be part of Summer Game Fest.
Yeah,
Or they're probably going to do their own.
I agree with that. I think in the future, when we go to LA, it will be to attend Summer Game Fest. I guarantee you that's going to happen. And I'm glad you said that, because we saw companies trickling out of E3 for years now. Though the one that really solidified it for me was EA. I was like, oh, whoa, EA's not here anymore, right? And then Sony left, Microsoft left, Activision left, all these companies leaving. So all this stuff was happening before the lockdown. All of this was already happening. So afterwards, you know, especially after this showing, bro, I think it's just going to continue. And I think, yes, Summer Game Fest will be the thing that takes over, and that's the show we're going to be attending live at E3. So it's going to be at LA. So it's going to be very interesting.
Yeah, you're going to start to see a hybrid, I think, moving forward, of these companies having a digital presence and then a smaller in-person presence at the same time. Because look, I posted that picture from 2017, day one of me walking into West Hall when they put the public in there. That was chaos. Never again.
Was.
Because remember, you remember, and people can go in the archives. There is a podcast we did that night where I was like, I'm done. I'm out. If this is the future, I'm not going anymore because you can't get anything done. And yeah, it got a little bit better over the last 2 years, but it still got to the point where we weren't really going on the show floor to do anything other than to walk around. You weren't getting any work done. You had to go upstairs to a meeting room, or you went off site. Like the majority of the stuff, we were off site anyways. And I had said it for a long time. I go, the second either Microsoft or PlayStation leaves E3, it's done. PlayStation's never coming back. They're not. For what?
They're not.
Because I said even back then, all they got to do is flip a switch and say PlayStation Experience is our new big event for the year. It's a wrap. EA is already doing it with EA Play. Microsoft is funny because they still support the ESA, but they're not there either. Like you said, they're across the street. They're really not there. They don't really have a presence either.
That's right.
So it's like, what are we doing? I mean, look, selfishly, I don't want E3 to go away. Like you said, maybe it turns into the Keeley Fest, but I don't want an in-person thing to go away selfishly because I want to see all of you. I want to see all our industry friends, and selfishly, I want to hang out at night and have a good time, for a week with all of you guys. But realistically, we've been cooped up in the house now for 2 straight E3s. I don't miss it at all in that way, other than missing the people.
That's true.
That's just the God honest truth. And something's got to change. Like I said, it was very eye-opening to me when I went to Gamescom in 2019, and I saw how organized that was, that allowed the public to do their thing and to allow the actual business of games media to happen simultaneously, and it worked. The LA Convention Center is not set up to do that at all. No freaking way. So when they tried to force feed that in, it showed you it was a move of desperation because they was realizing that show was losing relevance. So they tried to inject the public into it. I'm sorry, it just doesn't work. This digital format of E3 does not work. If like Xbox did their thing on Sunday, realistically, they were only a part of E3 in name only. It was all on their own. They did their thing. It was fine. PlayStation, I'm sure, is going to wind up doing something here in a few weeks on their own. EA clearly is doing their own thing. Even the Ubisoft thing on Saturday was, they just did their own production. How is this E3? I don't understand what we got out of this by registering for media for E3. What did we get? I don't know.
An avatar picture.
Yeah,
avatar
I got
picture.
a digital badge, and I got Jeff Keighley. Look, we found out that Jeff Keighley was a troll. That's what we got from this E3. Jeff Keighley loves trolling.
Oh yeah,
ESA. That's what we got.
Huge troll.
That's true.
Yeah. No, but you're right about that. Because think about it like this, right? There was no like Twitch page that was like an E3 Twitch page, right? When I want to see Xbox, I go to the Xbox page. I want to see Capcom, I go to Capcom. I want to see Square Enix, I go to Square Enix. Like everybody was doing their own thing. So I don't understand the point of having it under the banner of E3 when it's clearly separate.
Yeah.
Again, irrelevant, man.
Yeah. It is disappointing, man, because we're talking from a content creator point of view, right? But the thing that I feel bad is the people that are depending us to cover this event, right? And they're watching it from home. They're excited. Remember, there's people, and now we've done this in the past. We've taken a week off just to watch E3 from at home, right? Or we wait for like the magazine. We start reading it like a month after E3. Like there was an excitement there, and I'm not getting that anymore with this. Like this format, they need a better person that if they're planning to do this, let's say next year digitally, they need someone or team that knows how to do this correctly. Like I feel while I watched the Ubisoft event, when I watched the Xbox event, I felt like it was an actual event, like a celebration. I'm not getting this for E3 at all. I'm not getting that type of vibe at all. Zero. And seeing all these short clips of companies saying, oh yeah, we have this, we have a showcase, and everybody thinks it's gonna be a big announcement, but it's just updates. It's like, yo, you could do that separately. You don't have to do that at E3, man. You know what I'm saying? So
it could be blog posts, it could be videos. You do not need to be telling, because again, like because people are thinking about the E3s of old, right? You know, like, oh, this company's going to be showing their new stuff. Let's get hype. Let's get hype.
Yeah.
But that's not what, like you said, it's just updates, bro. So why are we
Yeah.
doing this? And I'm glad you said that. You're right. Like, even though I was not a fan of a lot of the Ubisoft thing, you're right. That felt like an actual show. You had actual presenters showing you the games, right? And
yes.
So,
And they did an amazing job. Yeah, it was in house. Like it was, you know, shout out to Yusuf and Neelam.
Yeah.
They did an amazing job. Like I felt like, yo, I was hyped. I was excited. I'm like, all right, like it was good. I felt the same thing with the Xbox event, and I can't wait for Thursday. You know, extended with the only one and only Paris coming out this Thursday. No, it's gonna be fun. I can't wait. I can't wait to watch it. I don't know Jack. I don't know anything about it. I don't know anything, but I'm excited to watch it. I'm gonna co-stream it live here, by the way.
You're listening to Gamertag Radio.
Are we going to continue with our conversation about E3 2021? But first, let's talk about our sponsor, StrongVPN. StrongVPN is a virtual private network. VPN helps you safely browse the internet, whether you're watching a Twitch stream, playing some Xbox or PlayStation, or spending way too much time on social media like I always do. But with StrongVPN, your connection is encrypted. That's important news because it means that no one else can spy on what are you doing. You can use StrongVPN on your computers, tablets, phones. You can even install it on your router to protect every device in your household. And guess what's the best news? StrongVPN uses the latest generation VPN technology called WireGuard, which means it doesn't slow down your connection like other VPNs. For listeners of GTR, StrongVPN is offering an incredible 65% off. Yes, 65% off. Just like $3.50 for the first month or $27.99 for the whole year. Here's everything you get with StrongVPN. You get apps for iOS, Android, macOS, Windows, and more. Access to 950 plus VPN servers, none of which log your information there. More than 59,000 anonymous IP addresses protecting your personal information, your personal privacy. Call to action. This is for you guys, GTR listeners. So go right now to strongvpn.com/GTR to claim your 65% off savings. And guess what? They have plans starting again, just $3.50 or $27.99 a year. Get started with this limited time offer and save 75% off monthly or annual subscriptions. Visit one more time to strongvpn.com/GTR. Once again, that's strongvpn.com/GTR to save 65%.
This is Gamertag Radio. Voicemail at 786-2737-GTR.
Yeah, anything else, guys, before we wrap it up?
Yeah, no,
before we wrap it up?
Yeah, just you know, like you said, just kind of summing it up. Yes, like it was nice to get some updates here and there, but at the same time, we didn't need to have a giant big show for many of these things. So just again, echoing what you said, Danny, I hope that moving forward, we will they will find somebody who knows what they're doing, who can properly organize E3 into something better. And if not, let Jeff Keighley take this whole thing over for its Summer Game Fest. I'm perfectly fine with that because Jeff Keighley, that guy knows how to put on a show. And I'm glad you said that his show did feel like the Video Game Awards. As a matter of fact, I said it's a better Video Game Awards because there was no ads. It was just games.
It had ads. It had ads, but it wasn't
bad.
Yeah,
it was a couple, but it wasn't like 15 minutes worth of ads or something. But I think that's a good balance, and I hope we kind of see a little bit of that in the Game Awards too. But yeah, I think that's what's going to happen. Summer Game Fest is going to be the way forward because what we got today, not only for us as content creators is upsetting, but as fans, you see the reactions on Twitter. People are not happy now. You know, I saw people were holding out hope like, oh, it's going to get good, going to get good. No, it's not, man. I know Nintendo's going to have their thing tomorrow, but I don't think that's going to save it either, brother. So yeah.
I mean, they are going to have a separate treehouse of like a couple hours and 40-minute just a presentation. But you know why I like, before we wrap it up, you know why I like Kaylee's like the actual presentation. If you go way back, the early days of E3, and you get to watch like a presentation from like Sony, Xbox, even Nintendo, or any other company, they were just showing stats like, well, we sold this amount of consoles. And it was graphics. It was like a pitch for like retailers. Like it wasn't for like the fans, you know what I'm saying? Like back in the days. And then slowly, I remember, I think Xbox was the first one to actually change that. They made the presentation as a yo, this is like an entertainment. This is an actual show. This is what we got. Like then Sony did it. Nintendo kind of did it their own style, you know. And that's how I feel watching Jeff Keighley Summer Game Fest. It's like it feels a show. Like I'm sitting down, I'm entertained. Yes, you might not like everything that's shown there, but it feels good. You know what I'm saying? So that's what I would like to see with E3. Have it a day, maybe 2 days max, and that's it. If it's virtual next year, you know what I'm saying? So Paris, anything else you want to say before we wrap it up?
No. I guess I will not so shamelessly plug Thursday. I hope everyone can tune in. Thursday, June 17th at 10 a.m. Pacific, I will be hosting the Xbox Game Showcase Extended, and it should be a lot of fun. And I'm dying for everyone to see it and see all the feedback.
Yeah,
and,
I'm hyped. I'm hyped.
It's gonna be good.
Yeah, I'm very excited. You know what we're gonna do, Paris, in the future? I just want to in the future, I want you to be on the show and talk about like how was it, like you experiencing that like for the first time? Were you nervous? Not like, you know, I want to hear that, you know, and I'll give you my honest feedback once I watch the whole thing.
Yes. Yeah, we will absolutely do that.
Yeah, that would be cool. Cool. All right, Juan, thank you so much for watching and listening to this last minute episode of us being so so disappointed with the ESA. No, but thank you everyone for watching. It was a lot of fun talking with you guys, and I had to let it out. Like I got so frustrated watching that Camcom. Like, damn, I called Tony, like, Tony, you want to do this, man? Like, I see you're complaining too, like, you know, and then Paris, you want to, I'll join in too. Like, all right, let's do it. Let's record, you know. But it was fun overall. Great chatting with you guys, man.
Word.
You know, and I hope we could do this in person one of these days. Actually, Paris, I'll see you soon.
Yeah. We'll see each other real soon.
Definitely. Yeah, that's going to be fun. Tony, come to the West Coast, man. Come on, make it happen.
Yeah, word. I need to, man. It's crazy right now.
Yeah. All right, guys. Everyone, thank you so much for watching and listening to GTR. Until next time, peace. Later.
Thanks for listening to Gamertag Radio. Be sure to like us on Facebook and follow us on Twitter.